What's going on, Gen Nation? This is Spartacris with the Generational Gaming and Entertainment Network. This is the Theater Room, episode 11, and we have a couple of things to talk about today. I'm just going to be reviewing three different things, but they big things. We got Mighty Ducks Game Changers, episode 2 was last week. Falcon and the Winter Soldier, episode 3 was last week. And then the big dog of the week was Kong versus Godzilla. And I have things to say about everything. So we're just going to start right away with, let's start with let's say what's lowest on the totem pole, which is Mighty Ducks. Before I jump into that, make sure you check out the rest of the Generational Gaming and Entertainment Network. ScytheX, The Captain in One Shot, streaming all week, mostly Call of Duty, some other games on PS5 and PC, and then I jump on here and there, and then I'll also be back on Sunday with some updates on news and entertainment happenings, you should say, throughout the week. Anything that's kind of brand new and that was announced, and that honestly that I feel like is important to know. If you guys can't keep up, I'm coming on Sundays around 1 o'clock to try and help you keep up and bring all the updates into one spot. So let's talk about the Mighty Ducks. Mighty Ducks Game Changers, for anyone who hasn't started watching it yet, is a show on Disney Plus, and this show is a continuation of the Mighty Ducks movies. Bombay is in it, and he hates hockey at this point in the show, and it's about a bunch of kids who want to start their own team because the Mighty Ducks turned into a bunch of a-holes, excuse my French, and they're trying to do things their own way. So the video playing right now, which is a bunch of highlights from the latest episode, and it was good. It's a Disney show. It's definitely for kids. It's got some moments that made me kind of giggle, made me laugh out loud. I think I am enjoying it more because of nostalgia, because I'm a hockey player, because I love the Mighty Ducks movies. You don't get a lot of hockey stuff as a hockey player, so this is something fresh and something new. It has some, the hockey so far is not very realistic, but that's not what Mighty Ducks is known for. And I think it's a little weird that Bombay, after loving hockey so much, just decided not to like it anymore. I'm sure they're going to explore that and explain what's going on, but it's good enough to keep my attention. It's only a half-hour show, and my wife is into it because Lauren Graham is the lead, and she loves her. There's not a lot of things that my wife and I can watch together, so this is kind of right up our alley. If you haven't watched it, it's only 2 episodes in, and I don't know. Right now, they haven't announced the second season, so I don't, I'm not sure if it's going to continue. I haven't seen anything saying it's breaking any giant records, so, I wouldn't expect it to come back at this point, but, anything can happen. So give it a shot if you like it. If you're not into hockey or not, and if you didn't watch the Mighty Ducks movies as kids, then you're probably not going to like it, so you can just go ahead and skip it. But yeah, so that's the Mighty Ducks. Now we're going to move on to one of my favorite shows on TV right now, and that is Falcon and the Winter Soldier. I thought episode 3 was awesome. I think after 3 episodes, the show has just gotten better and better, episode after episode. I have here one of the quick action scenes playing. I think that the action is very Captain America-ish. I love the storyline. I'm liking where they're taking these characters. In this particular episode, spoiler alert, if you haven't watched it, you shouldn't be listening to me right now. But they finally reveal that Zemo was a baron. They show that he's rich, and because of that, they're basically able to travel, and that it kind of explains how he was able to pull off his plan from Captain America Civil War. I thought that him shooting the doctor that was able to replicate the serum, I see online people think that Sharon Carter might be the power broker. I think that he shot the doctor because he didn't want him to reveal that that Zemo was the power broker. I feel like that we're going to get some last minute villain reveal that Zemo's basically been behind the Flag Smashers and a lot of everything else going on. And I feel like now that they've introduced the serum, it is out there in the world. They killed the one guy who can make it. The new Captain America, John Walker, I feel like is going to catch wind of it and try to get the serum for himself so he can, in his mind, be as good as the original Captain America, not realizing that it takes a lot more than super strength and being able to fight to be Captain America. I do like, the episode, I felt like dealt a lot with the fact that while Bucky regrets a lot of the things he did as the Winter Soldier, that maybe a piece of him, he's so used to it, it's like he can't escape it, and a piece of him almost wants to go back to that. It almost seemed like Zemo was definitely just messing with Sam and Bucky and trying to get in their heads, which Sam right away said it was going to happen. But the little comments of Bucky fighting in the bar and Zemo leaning over and saying, it didn't take much to get him back to his old ways. You could tell that whatever his plan is, it's working. It was interesting to see that Zemo essentially was controlling the Winter Soldier, even though he didn't have those code words that worked anymore. And a nice little detail is that I noticed was in Black Panther, it was revealed that the Wakandans were able to design their suits so that it would absorb energy as it's getting hit, and then you could release the energy in like a little explosion. You saw it in Black Panther, you saw it in Avengers Infinity War and Avengers Endgame. And I don't know if anyone noticed, but when Bucky is fighting in the bar, he grabs somebody, he slams him down, and just as he slams him down, you could see his metal arm kind of glow yellow. It looked very much like Killmonger's suit. So it seemed to me like they kind of gave him that same technology. I think that as far as the Flag Smashers are concerned, Carly Montague or however you say her name in the show, clearly she took it a step too far by blowing up that building. I feel like by in the next episode or two, she's gonna almost kind of break off and really be the standout bad guy or the standout face of the Flag Smashers. One thing that I've always found curious though is how can Falcon, Sam, how can he go toe to toe or continue to fight with these people? Because so he could fly, and he obviously knows how to fight, and he trained with Captain America and blah blah blah, but he doesn't have a super soldier serum. He's not super strong, he's not super fast and have the reflexes like Bucky does. Even Zemo, he beat some people's asses in this episode, which is cool. It's nice to see that he can hold his own in a fight, but I felt like besides there was a couple of quick shots like the one you're seeing here, but he was never shown to be a fighter. It was more of like a mastermind, kind of a behind the scenes, kind of controls things. Speaking of Zemo, I love the look of his mask. They still haven't really explained what the mask, if there's a history there. In the comic books, he wears it to honor his father, whose face was permanently essentially molded or melted in, merged with the mask. There was a lot of rumors that the mask was going to be, designed to mimic Thanos' chin with the lines going down. They haven't said anything. They just showed him with the mask on, and he looks just badass with the Bane coat and then the purple mask. So I'm curious to see what the reason for that's going to be. Otherwise, though, this episode was great. I think Sharon Carter might be the power broker. According, I read a lot of rumors, like I said before, about it, and so there's a chance that could be the case. She seemed to be pretty powerful in that seedy underbelly that they visited, and they, purposely didn't show us how she knew where the doctor was. Which they wouldn't have to show us that if she was the one in charge anyway. I did notice the doctor. So I have a feeling that it's going to be Zemo that's going to be revealed as the power broker or just in charge of everything. But the doctor did look over at Sharon Carter kind of weird when she walked into the lab real quick before Zemo shot him. So, there's probably something more to that. I like the idea of, not everyone kind of had a happy ending after Endgame. They saved all these people, great, but Sharon didn't have the protection of the government like Captain America did. And while she helped in Captain America Civil War, she hasn't gotten away scot-free. And it's good to know that Marvel is not forgetting that there's a lot of other people involved in these stories, and there are repercussions for some of the things these people do. And what else? And then so now we got to talk about the seedy underbelly, the Madripoor, I think that's how you say it. So for any comic book fans, Madripoor is generally a town or a hive of scum and villainy for Star Wars fans that is featured in the X-Men comics. The one bar, when you watch the episode, the one bar they pass before they go to the bar that they end up at, I can't remember the name of it now, but that is a bar that's generally frequented by Wolverine under his own alias, essentially, in that town. So that's another, besides Quicksilver in WandaVision being Evan Peters, that town is another link to the X-Men universe, or, as another hint at how Marvel wants to use this stuff they have access to now that they own the Fox characters. So that could lead into more mutants. It could just be an Easter egg. Who knows? For a show like this, and after WandaVision, I've kind of figured out that we really shouldn't be overthinking a lot of these things. But it is noticeable that they are using properties from the X-Men side of things. So that's kind of pretty significant as far as locations are concerned. So it was nice to see them go there. Now remember that, this is 3 episodes in. We're halfway done. There's only 3 more episodes. And then we have a little bit of a wait until Black Widow. That comes out in July, and Loki comes out in June. So we kind of have a little bit of a break. Not a huge break, but a little bit of a break. I feel like it's flying by, but we're 3 weeks in, and we only have 3 weeks left. So anyone who, if you have your own opinion as to where the show might go, or as to what they're leading to, I'd like to know. I do think my predictions are that before the season's over, obviously Sam's going to get the shield back, but Bucky and him are going to have to fight for it. Bucky might want to take it back, or doesn't believe Sam has earned it whenever he gets it. I am curious to know how he's going to take it from John Walker, but we didn't see much of John Walker this episode. I mean, I was a little cringy when he grabbed that guy and said, "Do you know who I am?" Clearly he's not cut out to be Captain America, and him and his sidekick are just kind of riding the coattails of the old Captain America, or trying to anyway. They're also going to be kind of following suit. They weren't in this episode that much, so I feel like we're going to see them a lot next episode. I am hoping that the next couple episodes are a little longer. I feel like the show is a little short for only 6 episodes. Each episode's been around 40 minutes, and I just feel like there's a lot of story to uncover, especially if we're going to make it come to a conclusion that doesn't feel rushed. So we'll see what happens. But episode 4 is Friday for anyone who's watching. And I will be back here on next Tuesday to talk about my thoughts on episode 4. And then last but not least is the big dog, Kong versus Godzilla. Man, I love this movie so much. So if you've read any reviews over the last few days, I guess, the movie came out Wednesday, you'll know that a lot of critics, a lot of fans really love this movie. I thought it was an excellent movie. I'm a big fan of these monster movies. I'm a big fan of the Monsterverse. I've been excited for Kong vs. Godzilla the moment they even hinted that it could happen. And then once they announced it, my excitement got more and more. And this is exactly what you want. This was a quick movie, an hour and 40 minutes. It took roughly 25 to 30 minutes, I want to say, for Kong and Godzilla to finally meet. And then it just pretty much felt like it was firing on all cylinders from that point on. Now there is a lot to love. I'm showing a lot of the fight scenes here in this video. It's just a bunch of clips of the highlights. We got 2 fights between Kong and Godzilla, or I guess 3 battles, I should say, and then we got a battle with Kong and Zilla teaming up to fight Mechagodzilla, which everyone we guessed it was going to be Mechagodzilla, but the moment they said there was a Kong versus Godzilla movie coming out, it was obvious that they would fight once or twice, then they would team up to face a bigger threat. I kind of was in the camp of I wanted it to be another monster from another planet, maybe not Ghidorah, but or maybe a couple of monsters coming from another planet, and they realized that they needed to team up to protect our planet. I wasn't a giant fan of the look of Mechagodzilla. However, it didn't take away from the movie at all. I thought it was awesome. It was an obvious twist, but this wasn't the kind of movie that you go in expecting some big major twist to. Some things I just want to point out. So I'm a big fan of King Kong. It's a little sad to me that he technically lost. Godzilla definitely beat his ass and almost killed him. Yeah, I didn't want it to be a tie, but I also wanted King Kong to win. I'm just more of a fan of him than Godzilla. However, I don't think it didn't make sense. I mean, Godzilla kind of towers over him, has the weight advantage, has the the laser beam of death. Kong put up a fight, and it was a good movie, honestly. I mean, look at these scenes here. I mean, look at this Hong Kong battle. These neon lights. I wish I found some of the Mechagodzilla stuff, but I guess that'd be pushing it too much on the spoiler territory. I am glad that Kong's the one who got the killing blow. I love how he basically ripped Mechagodzilla's head off. It was all cool. The axe that can absorb the atomic breath from Godzilla was cool. the whole origin of Kong's people and the Hollow Earth. Everything looked awesome. That little winged bat thing that almost killed King Kong was cool. I do want to talk about some things that I think are stupid, though. One thing that I didn't like is when they're fighting in the first battle and they're fighting on the ships. I mean, is it just me? I know I'm not a physics master like that, but how is Kong able to jump such a high and far distance and land on the ship and not just obliterate that ship? Like, it just makes no sense. I mean, the ship should have went under, as far as I'm concerned. Really, the movie, I guess they had to figure out a way to get past that point, right? Otherwise, the movie would have ended right there. But I just, when he landed on it, I was kind of like, I don't really get it. That was a little kind of crazy to me. And honestly, can we stop putting humans in these movies? Or at least as many humans? I get that you need some people. Like, in this movie, the people from Monarch, Rebecca Hall, I think her was the actress's name, the little girl that Kong has a relationship with, and Eric from True Blood. Like, those characters, okay, you need those characters. Because you need a reason for Kong to leave Skull Island, or in this case, leave his little habitat that was built for him. So fine, you need those people. You need somebody to cheer on when Kong's winning or when something happens. But the other two characters, Millie Bobby Brown and her dad, and the kid from Deadpool and the conspiracy theorist, what was the point of them? You didn't need them. Like, the only purpose they served was to say things out loud that we were basically already seeing on screen, and to pour alcohol all over the control panel, which, not for nothing, kind of ruins Mechagodzilla's intimidation. I mean, the moment we realized that Ghidorah essentially took over and his consciousness woke, and he was the one who was doing some battle with Godzilla and King Kong, that was a nice little twist, and that kind of gave you. It made the final battle a little exciting because, Ghidorah almost killed Godzilla in King of Monsters. So, like, you were kind of invested at this point. He was beating the shit out of both Kong and Godzilla. I mean, let's just kind of call it is what it is. He was kicking both their asses at the same time. And so you were really kind of wondering, how are they going to stop him? But, then you just pour alcohol on his control panel. It was just, that kind of ruined it for me. Like, eliminate those characters. Just let Kong and Godzilla work as a team to beat this guy's ass. I mean, it was cool with Godzilla, using the atomic breath to charge up the axe so Kong could fight Mechagodzilla. What I would have preferred, now again, I did like this movie, but what I would have preferred is if they're battling, Godzilla charges up the axe, Kong gets a good hit in, and Ghidorah or Mechagodzilla realizes that he needs to get rid of this friggin' axe or else he's about to lose this fight, and he starts to adjust and kind of come back again, and now Kong and Godzilla have to kind of figure out a way to distract him or do something enough to charge the axe up again so Kong can finally put him down. That would have been, I guess, a more intense ending, but I'm nitpicking because otherwise the movie was awesome. I mean, I definitely loved it. I wasn't bored at all, and I love the way it ended. I'm glad that, which I kind of knew, that both Kong and Godzilla would be alive and that we would have chances for new movies. I, for one, would love to see a Hollow Earth movie, not necessarily about Kong, but just more about the history of Hollow Earth, and obviously Kong will be in it. Godzilla, there's plenty of monsters and creatures that you can make more Godzilla movies with. I know originally there was a plan to have a Rodan specific movie, to have a Mothra movie, but as of right now, after Kong vs. Zilla, there's no announcements for future movies. So who knows where they're gonna go from this point forward. I think they're kind of just letting this breathe, letting this sink in before they start to ruin it with announcements for future movies. I hope this isn't the end, though, because I love these movies. And from what I understand, Kong vs. Zilla has essentially shattered the record for release on these streaming services. So good for them. I mean, I'm sure the next one will strictly be in theaters, but, we'll see what happens. And those are the three reviews I wanted to give today. There's not a lot of things went on this weekend. I had, with the holiday, I didn't have enough time to watch Bond or Vikings. But I will get to those this week, and I'll talk about them next Tuesday. I'm going to just constantly remind everybody, this is Mortal Kombat month. I started watching Mortal Kombat Annihilation yesterday. I'm getting my mind right. Mortal Kombat comes out April 23rd this month, and I am psyched for that movie. I'm pumped. I hope Cole, the main character of the movie, dies before the end, so we don't have to deal with them anymore. Otherwise, everything else about it I'm into. There's been some little clips here and there. You see more of Sub-Zero and Scorpion, more of Goro. Everything looks awesome. I will say, and I've said this before, I'll say it again, I am a little concerned that they have too many characters. From now, you have Cabal, who's officially in the movie, Raiko, who was one of the worst freaking characters in Mortal Kombat history. I don't know why they put him in this movie. They had a million other good characters to choose from, and they chose freaking Raiko. At least Cabal's a cool character. So, it looks like they gave Raiko a whole new design, but, like, come on. You didn't need him. You have other characters to choose from. You don't need Raiko. But if you do some digging online, you can see a whole bunch of characters. I'm here for Scorpion and Sub-Zero. It looks like the rivalry is going to be huge. Kung Lao and Liu Kang looks like it's going to be cool. And they're finally going to do my man Raiden and Shang Tsung justice. I don't know how you're not going to have... I'm not going to even try to pronounce his name, but the guy who played Shang Tsung in Mortal Kombat, the original Mortal Kombat movie, and in Mortal Kombat 11. I don't know how you're not going to have him in the movie. He needs to show up for a cameo. If he doesn't, that's already a big mark against the movie, in my opinion. But anyway, we'll just see what happens. April 23rd can't come soon enough. I'm excited for it. So that's it for this week's Theater Room. No Cinema Suite of the week today's show. Besides some candy, I guess. But we will come back with something good for next week. And I will be back Sunday with all the latest updates and news in the entertainment world. There's already a few things. E3 is a big one. So you can look that up. We'll talk about it on Sunday. And then sometime later this week, or at least by Sunday, I will be releasing part 2 of my MCU Phase 4 prep. And I'll go over some of the future characters coming. I watched the Loki trailer. There's a Black Widow trailer out. A whole bunch of stuff. Space Jam 2 looks like it's going to be hot garbage, but I'll watch it anyway. And so that's it. Make sure, if you like this kind of stuff, like and subscribe to the YouTube page. Join the Facebook page. All the social medias are going to be on the recap when I post it to YouTube. Keep an eye out for the Captain, 1X, and One Shot and ScytheX from the rest of the Generational Gaming and Entertainment Network. Streaming throughout the week, random days. Just keep an eye out. All the schedules are up on the YouTube page as well. And keep an ear out for some tournament news that we're going to be hosting, and just some big things coming. Thanks for joining in, and if you have any comments, leave them on the YouTube recap, and I will address them. I've already been told that the Loki trailer apparently not everyone's a big fan of it, and I couldn't disagree more, because I think it looks awesome, and I'm just excited to see Owen Wilson in a Marvel property. So yeah, I'll see you guys on Sunday.